Tes 1 2. Oke, halo semuanya, selamat datang di channel saya Andeswi Bawah 2. Oke, kemarin kita sudah menonton tentang pembahasan mengenai Windows ya. Pembahasan mengenai Windows mendukung masa depan pekerjaan hibrid ya. Jadi saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada semua dari perusahaan Windows yang sudah memberikan penjelasan manfaat tentang untuk Windows mendukung masa depan pekerjaan hibrid dan juga fitur-fitur baru di Windows 11 ini. Itu versi 22H2 yang nanti. Nah, kapan versi itu akan datang? Yang di tahun ini ya, tahun 2022. Tapi kita belum tahu tanggal berapa dan bulan berapa. Oke, jadi hari ini kita akan menonton penjelasan dari ini 3 sesi breakout yang fokus pada tantangan yang Anda hadapi. Nah, kalau kalian ingin melihat penjelasannya, silakan nonton ketiga video ini ya. Oke, jadi hari ini kita akan menonton ketiga video ini. Bergabunglah dengan kami untuk mendapatkan wawasan mendalam tentang layanan Microsoft Cloud dan pekerjaan hybrid, kebutuhan keamanan yang ditingkatkan, dan operasi jarak jauh. Yang pertama, dasar-dasar keamanan, Raih, ketenangan, pikiran, bekerja dengan teknik inovatif sehingga Anda dapat memberikan lebih banyak perlindungan. Kedua, manajemen TI ya, dan pekerjaan hibrid ya. Pelajari solusi TI hemat biaya yang dapat Anda sesuaikan dengan kebutuhan setiap individu jarak jauh atau di lokasi. Yang ketiga, produktivitas pengguna. Beradaptasi dengan perubahan tempat kerja yang konstan di dunia hibrida dengan mendorong kolaborasi dan produktivitas. Oke, kita akan nonton penjelasan yang pertama, dasar-dasar keamanan. Oke, silakan menonton. Dan jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe channel ini ya guys. Dan juga videonya like dan komen. Oke.
Hi, I'm David Weston. I lead the Enterprise and OS Security team. I'm also known as Microsoft's hacker-in-chief, having built the Red team focused on penetration testing for Microsoft. This is the team that proactively looks for vulnerabilities in our software and services to stay ahead of the threat landscape. And it's from this vantage point that we've approached baking security deep and by default into the Windows operating system. In fact, how we protect ourselves against cyber attacks is more important than ever. As data from Microsoft security researchers shows, this is a threat landscape that we're seeing reach new levels as bad actors look opportunistically at the new normal of hybrid work to target their efforts with new campaigns. It's clear that over the past couple of years, our professional and personal environments have merged more and we spend more time online. As a consequence, we're also seeing a surge in malicious cyber attacks targeting organizations and consumers. To give you an idea of the scale of attacks, based on the 24 trillion security signals we collected daily, in 2021, Microsoft Defender for Endpoints has blocked more than 9.6 billion malware threats, and Microsoft Defender for Office 365 has blocked more than 35.7 billion phishing and other malicious emails. During the same period, Microsoft also detected and blocked more than 25.6 billion attempts to hijack our enterprise customers by brute forcing stolen passwords. That's more than 800 password attacks every second of every day. So how do we continue to stay ahead and respond? How do you and your employees and your company stay safe in this world of hybrid work? Based on our experience, we know that it takes a multi-layered approach to respond to these threats. In fact, in today's session, I'm going to show you how we've engineered Windows 11 using zero trust principles to be the most secure Windows ever. This starts from the moment you power on your PC. In Windows, we have advanced hardware-based protections on the silicon through the actual boot process to your login, which then extends all the way through the apps that you use every day. Literally layers of security from the chip all the way to the cloud, which balances the evolving needs of both security and productivity from anywhere. And this is true whether you're running Windows 11 on your physical device or from your Windows 365 cloud PC. We'll dive deeper into new and upcoming capabilities to protect you and your users from breaches that occur from the top two attack vectors: targeted phishing and individualized malware, both tailored for a specific user and generated just seconds before it's sent to defeat endpoint security. And it turns out that the attacks we're seeing don't differentiate on the size of your operations. Even state-sponsored attackers will target organizations both large and small. To show you how Windows 11 helps you mitigate evolving attacks, we'll make this a hands-on session where I'll be joined by Catherine Holsworth to demonstrate the most common social engineering techniques and how enhanced phishing and app protections coming from Windows 11 can help mitigate them. And to protect from the increasing risk of devices being lost, stolen, or physically compromised as we work from anywhere, I'll demonstrate new protections against encryption attacks. And I'll show you how the latest secured core PCs running Microsoft's Pluton security processor provide a secure storage environment with the highest default security.
So let's get into this, starting with new protections coming to Windows that will help protect against password phishing, which industry data now shows accounts for 80% of all cyber attacks today. The bigger prize that attackers covet is, of course, corporate passwords. It's a huge prize for them to breach your corporate credentials, because once in your network, they can move laterally and onto even bigger prizes. So let's explore this further. Here, in Microsoft Teams, one of my colleagues has added a tab that points directly to a website. In our case, it's our favourite coffee shop, Fourth Coffee, where we order coffees for our team events. You can see previous orders that David and I have made right here. I'll just repeat that order and submit it. And even though this worked last week, I am asked to enter my credentials. Makes sense to me. Maybe Teams just needs to re-authenticate me. So I guess I'm going to need to re-enter my password to continue.
Hold on. Wait just a moment there, Catherine. Before you go any further, let's examine this a bit more closely. I say this because what's new and what we see today is that the methods used by attackers have gotten even more devious. Many go beyond the browser and are now app-based. They rely on catching users off guard in trusted apps and communications. Now on my PC, with my SecOps hat on, I'm going to fire up Fiddler, a tool that anyone can download so that I can examine the traffic flow. I'll minimize it and let it run in the background. Let's trace back to when you went into the tab in Teams for Fourth Coffee and check a few things. I'm at the point where I can submit an order, so I'll go ahead and submit it. This brings me back to this exact same login screen where Catherine left off. We can see that it's pixel for pixel perfect, and it's running inside of the Teams process, which would make anyone more inclined to trust it. Unlike in my browser, I can't see the source destination pop up as I hover over the site inside of Teams. So there's no real indication of any wrongdoing here. So let's look at our Fiddler screen. If this is legitimate, I should see traffic direct to login.microsoftonline.com. Instead, it's still going to Fourth Coffee. So for me, it's clear that Fourth Coffee has been hacked, and if I had shared my username and my password, it would have been breached.
And so what this attack demonstrates is the need for last-mile protection for us as users to help decipher what's legitimate and what's not. Not all of us have the deep technical skills like David, but what if Windows could decipher this for you to mitigate a corporate password phishing attempt like this? Well, it can with our new enhanced phishing protection in Microsoft Defender Smart Screen, which provides real-time phishing protections. Let's try this again on my PC, this time with Smart Screen turned on. I'll enter my corporate password. And immediately, I get notified that the app has made an unsafe connection and the incident has been reported to our security operations team. I'm also prompted here to change my password. And this protection is baked directly into the Windows 11 kernel to provide real-time, last-mile defense as you interact with the app. And once Windows 11 protects against one phishing attack, that intelligence cascades to protect other app vectors in email, documents, and more. But it doesn't stop there. Smart Screen also can help promote better user habits in terms of protecting corporate passwords. How many of us reuse passwords in our day-to-day, and how many of us find it really hard to remember them all? Here, I'm trying to reuse my corporate password for my LinkedIn login, and you'll see I'm issued with a warning that the password reuse is risky. Similarly, here, if I try to store my credential in Notepad, Windows 11 warns me right here that this is an unsafe practice. Behind the scenes, it leverages specific user signals. It's very similar to how predictive typing works. When Windows sees the right signals indicating compromised credentials, it can jump into action. And from an IT perspective, you can customize which notifications appear through Microsoft Endpoint Manager. This protection runs in audit mode by default, which can help with more proactive end-user training on unsafe practices with password reuse and password storage. These insights can also help you make decisions around policy creation and enforcement.
Thanks, Catherine. And that's just one way the built-in protections we are introducing with Windows 11 can help keep you safe from socially engineered phishing attacks that attempt to steal user credentials and unsafe password practices. Let's build on that. And before we move on, I want to show you the best practice that adds another layer of protection for users leveraging the same device for work and home. For example, as a user, you might be tempted to fiddle with the security settings set by IT. Maybe you decide to turn off Defender or your AV solution in the hopes of increasing your CPU performance while using your work device at home, leaving the door open for attackers. Now, ordinarily, any changes would be reversed with the next MDM sync, but until that happens, there's a window of opportunity for an attacker to do what they want to do. From an IT perspective, with Zero Trust approach, you always have to have a compliant security posture. With config lock, you're able to close the window of opportunity for attackers if a policy is tampered with. Config lock monitors the registry keys set by IT administrators to ensure that devices comply with company security policies, and if it detects a change, it'll immediately revert your system to the IT desired state in seconds. Let me show you this in action. I'm going to turn off the Defender enforcement set by my IT admin. Here you're going to see me going into the registry. Since I want to turn off Defender, I'm going to go find the Windows Defender folder. As you can see, the Allow Real-Time Monitoring key is currently set to 1, which indicates that it's on. Let's turn off the enforcement by changing the value to 0. Immediately, you can see that even though I changed the value to turn off Defender enforcement, config lock is reverting my device back to its desired state, changing the value back to 1 right away to comply with my organization policies and slamming that door shut. Let's replay what happened there, as that was really quick. You can see, with me being a local admin user, config lock changes my device back to its desired state in seconds, keeping your business safe by making it harder for anyone tinkering around with the policies set by your organization. Even if the entire folder was deleted, config lock can bring it back. These settings will be locked until there is an IT-approved update from the MDM server in the cloud. Config lock also records all the activity and logs that show when the config change was detected and remediated, so you as the IT admin can get a good sense of what is going on with users' devices and take any action that might be necessary.
Thank you, David, for that additional best practice. And so now your device is all set to be protected and productive, and IT have confidence that their policies will not drift. So, we just looked at our advanced phishing protections. Now, let's move on to our second attack vector, malware through unwanted apps. This is another common way attackers can find a foothold into your organization through apps downloaded into your environment. These unwanted apps could drop malware onto your device, bring a Trojan horse into your network, or they perhaps could drop a Bitcoin miner onto your machine and you could be happily mining Bitcoins in your spare time and not even know it. This is hard to control, especially as the worlds of professional and personal converge on the same device. Microsoft's threat intelligence built into Windows helps here again with a new capability we are working on called Smart App Control. This goes beyond previous protections built into browsers or even those from antivirus and anti-malware alone. This is yet another layer of security that is woven directly into the core of the OS at the process level. Using AI, our new Smart App Control only allows processes to run that are predicted to be safe based on the intelligence that we have, and it is continuously updated. Smart App Control brings enterprise-grade security to everyone using Windows. Think of it as giving you App Store level protection from wherever you choose to get apps. I'm going to hand it back to David to show you Smart App Control in action.
Sure. Let me show you how this works with these new devices. Let's say you're downloading a new app you have picked up from the web, or you're downloading an app in a link someone sent you. For example, let's say you're about to download something that looks like the Microsoft To Do app. I'm going to show you how Smart App Control can protect your device from these kinds of malicious apps by comparing two different devices. The device on the left uses traditional antivirus protection, while the one on the right has Smart App Control. To most people, the app looks like a legitimate version of Microsoft To Do, but in reality, it's actually a backdoor mechanism containing ransomware just made to look like Microsoft To Do. The malicious app may be able to run on the PC with traditional antivirus protection, and my machine would be infected unless the antivirus is perfectly confident it is malicious. However, on this device with Smart App Control, the malicious app is blocked because our AI system did not determine it is safe and could not identify the publisher based on its signing certificate. This is true zero trust for applications. From the dialog blocking the potentially unsafe app for me, I can open the Microsoft Store to find a safer alternative, including a legitimate version of Microsoft To Do. Even if there is a legitimate app you want to download that isn't in the Microsoft Store, something like 7-Zip, a popular but unsigned app, it is able to run safely thanks to the power of our cloud-driven intelligence that was able to verify this is a safe app. Based on other users' experience, it's been identified as safe to run by our AI systems. Think of it like Netflix movie suggestions, but for app security. And so now you have the confidence with Windows 11 that your app is safe before you ever run it.
Right, David. And the Smart App Control is really a powerful capability, especially for consumers or smaller businesses. And if you are a larger enterprise organization, Windows Defender application control policies can prevent untrusted apps from running, and it taps into the same cloud-based AI used by Smart App Control. You can find out more at aka.ms/WDAC.
So now, based on everything we've just shown you, as I look from an attacker's point of view at the layers of protection being added into Windows, it's now harder for identity and malware attacks to break through. With all of us more mobile these days, we're also raising the bar if someone physically attacks your device. We all do it. We step away from our device for a moment and lock the device screen instead of fully shutting down, so that it's easier to pick up where we left off when we come back. But of course, this presents the opportunity for a physical attack. So how do we mitigate that? Secured core PCs and Windows 11 machines with memory access protection provide protection against this attack by default. However, misconfigured machines or those without memory access protection can still be attacked. We want to show you an additional layer of protection in Windows 11 against physical attacks. The first capability that I want to show you, coming soon to Windows 11, is called Personal Data Encryption. This not only protects the personal files and data behind the lock screen by encrypting the data, but it links the encryption keys with your passwordless credential using Windows Hello for Business. This means that your data is better protected and there's no compromise to the user experience. I have 3 new devices here, an attacking device, one with BitLocker hardware encryption only, and one with BitLocker and personal data encryption enabled. Both devices have memory access protection disabled to demonstrate a misconfigured PC. BitLocker is a powerful encryption feature that protects the contents of your whole device when powered off and in hibernation. Now, both devices are powered on, but locked with DMA protection disabled. So I'm going to use a direct memory access device here to try and bypass the Windows lock screen and get to the information behind it. I'll first try the attack on my BitLocker only device, and you can see that I'm able to bypass the lock screen. I can see a file here that the user's been working on, so I'll click on it. It opens, no problem. The file's content is in the clear because the data is not protected. So typically, that would be game over. So let's try the same attack again on this second device that has both BitLocker and the new personal data encryption feature enabled. You can see that I'm able to bypass the lock screen again. But this time, if I try to open that same file, it won't open because it's encrypted. And note that to decrypt the data, I need to authenticate using this user's passwordless Windows Hello credentials. Personal data encryption works in concert with BitLocker, providing an additional layer of security by protecting personal data even when your device is still on and locked. So now my personal files and data are more resistant to attack.
And so we've made it hard for the attacker to get to the data behind the lock screen. But you may be wondering how this impacts the user experience with personal data encryption turned on. The important thing about this capability is the work we've done here to balance security with productivity. So let's say I'm working here on a document, this PowerPoint presentation here. You'll see that the file is encrypted automatically and seamlessly with no action required on my part outside my normal workflow. I also have a visual cue here, this padlock icon, to know that the file is protected by personal data encryption for me. This is about protecting my Windows 11 files stored locally. And if my device is stolen, my data is in OneDrive still, available to me, and I can collaborate with you, David, just as we usually do. So my information is both protected, and in the event of a physical device attack, there's no impact on my workflow.
Thanks, Catherine. And as great as this capability is, it's also worth pointing out that these types of direct memory attacks are mitigated if you have a Windows 11 secured core PC. These follow the device security requirements that we first defined in 2019 as a default baseline to protect against targeted firmware attacks and mitigate modern threats. Secured core PCs, like the one I have here, have direct memory access protection by default. So if I try this attack again, you'll see that I can't bypass the lock screen. And as predicted, the attack fails. But let's raise the game even further. My next tactic to get the information on this device is to bust open the PC completely to see if I can decrypt the hard drive. I have here what's called a logic analyzer to monitor the traffic between the trusted platform module that holds the encryption keys and the CPU. So I'm actually just going to open this device. I'm going to connect the probes of the logic analyzer. This is actually an engineering device, so we've pre-soldered the probes here just to make this a little more efficient. So I'll go ahead and connect these. Okay, now that those are all connected, these components are on two different chips, and they need to communicate, similar to a network connection. This means that I can see the traffic and try to steal the BitLocker key as it passes across the communication channel or bus. Once I have that, if things go well for me, I should be able to get any file on the PC that I like. Wish me luck, because I'm going to need it. I'm now going to perform a reasonably sophisticated sniffing attack to exploit the window of time it takes to execute hard drive decryption. And during that process, I'm going to grab the BitLocker key. All right, so there you go. Looks like I have it. Now that I have that, it should be smooth sailing. I'm going to connect the drive from the target PC to my own PC and decrypt it using the BitLocker key I just grabbed with the logic analyzer. Reconnecting it to the attack PC so it can be read. And look, here's a file that looks interesting, so I'll take that one.
And that's a scary outcome, which we can now negate with the new Microsoft Pluton processor designed in collaboration with our silicon partners. For devices configured with Pluton as a root of trust, we have added yet another layer of security right into the CPU silicon, where the TPM and the CPU are both essentially part of the same chip, meaning that information between the two does not travel over an external bus and therefore cannot be intercepted.
So let me try this attack out again, this time with the Microsoft Pluton processor as the root of trust enabled on this device. With Pluton configured as a TPM on this device, you can see it's impossible for me to use this side channel process with the logic analyzer to see what's going on in the chip because there's no external bus. So now my options are really limited if I steal a device, and it's a great example of how the latest Windows devices have layers of security deep in the chip all the way to the cloud.
And as we look towards the future, our team is working closely with Surface to drive additional firmware innovation that will expand Microsoft's portfolio of secured core PCs. I cannot wait to share that with you in the future. It's so incredibly exciting. And with that, I'll hand it back to my boss and good friend David to close.
So that was a first look at some of the new security capabilities that we're bringing to Windows 11 that apply multi-layer zero trust approach spanning the silicon of your PC, the hardware, through to the actual boot process, your login, and the apps you use in your everyday Windows session. This gives you chip-to-cloud security combined with Microsoft's expansive threat intelligence to protect your organization, users, and devices as you navigate the new normal of hybrid work. Of course, one of the best ways to reduce your overall attack surface is to go passwordless and remove user login credentials as a threat altogether. And so I urge you to check out Windows Hello for Business, our phish-resistant passwordless solution that enables a seamless and secure sign-in experience to Windows through deep integration with Azure Active Directory. Windows 11 is now easier to deploy than ever. The best way to take advantage of the upcoming and new features we showed you today is to deploy Windows 11 now. We hope that you enjoyed our session. We covered a lot of new information. And if you want to learn more, please check out the blog post I did on these announcements at aka.ms/Win11 Hybrid Work Security. And for a comprehensive security overview, please check our Windows 11 security book at aka.ms/Windows/security book. You can watch our Windows 11 security overview on Microsoft Mechanics at aka.ms/W11 Security Mechanics, where you can check out even more attacks and Windows 11 mitigations.
Tes. Oke. Oke, itu dia pembahasan tentang dasar-dasar keamanan ya, yang dibawakan oleh David Weston sama Catherine itu ya. Oke, bagi yang suka teknik informatika tuh, prodi teknik informatika, harap diperhatikan pada video tersebut ya. Kalau kalian lihat secret tadi itu kan sesuai dengan tahap tadi. Oke.
Tadi lagi nyalain ya, David?
Oke, sebentar. Oke, selanjutnya adalah manajemen TI dan pekerjaan hibrida. Tuh, ya, manajemen TI dan pekerjaan hibrida. Nah, yang kedua ya, untuk pelajari solusi TI hemat biaya yang dapat Anda sesuaikan dengan kebutuhan setiap individu jarak jauh atau di lokasi. Oke, selamat menyaksikan pada video kedua ini ya. Oke, dan jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe channel ini. Oke, subscribe channel ini dan jangan lupa like dan komen di video ini. Oke.
Today's world of work requires extreme flexibility. As your organization evolves with new business models and work styles, you need the agility and tools to support an increasingly distributed workforce, including hybrid and frontline employees. Businesses need to securely empower employees with the right tools for the job. They need technology that is flexible and customizable to meet specific needs and is simple and fast to use. IT needs to be able to scale at the speed of business, all while controlling costs. We continue to be challenged to balance business enablement with business security, moving toward a security posture that protects data and access from anywhere. Countries around the world are launching initiatives for expanding data security and privacy. On January 26th, the United States government announced its strategy to move towards a zero-trust architecture. The announcement was a key step in delivering President Biden's executive order on improving the nation's cybersecurity, making zero trust relevant to every organization. We designed Windows for the future of work and personal computing. Windows works smoothly with the cloud management capabilities of Microsoft Endpoint Manager to help you efficiently and securely manage your IT environment as your business evolves. That includes the lifecycle and protection for all endpoints, whether physical or in the cloud, helping you on your journey to zero trust. You've heard from Panos, Windows 11 is built for hybrid work. It is empowering for employees, it's familiar for IT, and it's secure for all. As IT professionals, you can help your organization, whether large or small, benefit from the latest productivity features while continuing to use your existing apps, management tools, and best practices. Solutions like Windows Autopilot, Windows Update for Business, and Microsoft 365 apps help simplify IT workloads and work as seamlessly with Windows 11 as they do with Windows 10. Windows, coupled with Endpoint Manager, gives you ultimate flexibility. Windows 11 is available on a PC, a Windows 365 Cloud PC, or Azure Virtual Desktop, and all can be provisioned, configured, and protected with Endpoint Manager for consistent and scalable experiences. But we know that business doesn't stand still, and we're excited to bring you even more simplicity for IT. Smarter deployments that ease Windows 11 adoption, innovation with Windows 365 that enables new ways of working, endpoint management for smooth updates, and more automation to streamline and unify your endpoint management into one cost-effective solution that will increase IT efficiency. I'm so excited to introduce Hina Makwan, who is here to dive in and share with you the vision of Windows.
Thank you, Steve. The end-user computing landscape is as diverse as the workforce, offering nearly endless possibilities and flexibility for employees to work from anywhere. Organizations can benefit from the agility of a hybrid workforce. However, this also adds complexity for IT, who strive to deliver and manage new experiences that power productivity and increase security. Businesses have long relied on their IT pros to support day-to-day operations. Today, they are more essential than ever. At the forefront of digital transformation, IT pros have enabled organizations worldwide to navigate the upheaval of the pandemic and transition to hybrid work. Today's IT pros are tasked with equipping employees with the apps, data, and corporate resources to do their jobs from anywhere. At the same time, they need simpler ways to ensure endpoints are secure and up to date. Simplicity for both IT and end users begins with smarter, more successful deployments and management. As business needs evolve, so does the demand on IT to help drive the business. However, IT's role of managing and deploying updates is critical in keeping operations running. Historically, organizations have dedicated IT resources to manage the latest productivity and security updates for Windows. I'm excited to share that we will be offering an intelligent, automated service that will help your IT teams focus on solving business problems instead of deploying updates. This service will automate Windows, Microsoft Edge, and Office deployments so they are always up to date and optimized for productivity and security. In November 2021, Microsoft announced the public preview of this capability. Today, I'm excited to share that it will be generally available in July 2022. This will be yet another way to simplify and improve support for end users while also bolstering your security posture. This new service will help organizations build a ring-based deployment workflow that makes safe and efficient installation of feature and quality updates easy. The updates will move progressively from ring to ring, striking a balance between speed and safety informed by Microsoft data and our ability to monitor and manage hundreds of millions of devices. The new service will also provide detailed status and update reporting. Should an issue arise, our service will automatically halt the update and mitigate customer impacting issues. How do you take advantage of all this? As part of your existing Windows Enterprise E3 subscription or higher, you will be able to enable it for free. To learn more, be sure to watch the video at the URL on the screen. One of the capabilities that our exciting new service uses is available today for smarter, more successful deployments, Windows Update for Business Deployment Service. It gives you control over the approval, scheduling, and safeguarding of updates. In the future, the service will give you even more control and simplicity with the ability to manage drivers and firmware. We will also use machine learning to help target the device that requires feature updates and help you expedite security updates. Successful deployments also require insights into application compatibility. This is why app compatibility is a core tenet of Windows development, why we back this up with the fast-track App Assure service and have test base for Microsoft 365. Smarter and more successful deployment is one way that we are helping you work more efficiently and cost-effectively. Another is through providing you flexible deployment and management. Whether employees are running Windows on physical PCs or streamed from the cloud, your organization can take advantage of the same management capabilities. This allows you to easily adapt to changing business needs while getting more value and predictability from your technology budget. The world's leading industrial thread company, Coates Group, did just that when they adopted Windows 365. Windows 365 securely streams your Windows experience, your personalized apps, content, and settings from the Microsoft Cloud to any device. With Microsoft Endpoint Manager, Coates is able to manage their physical devices alongside their Windows 365 cloud PCs. The solution provided much needed scalability and flexibility without increasing capital spending. Let me show you how IT can quickly provision your Windows 365 cloud PCs in Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Once I've already logged in, I start first by clicking Devices and then the Windows 365 tab. On this summary view are all of my organization's cloud PCs for provisioning and connection health. Go to All Cloud PCs to see your cloud PCs. Here you can see provisioning status across devices, provisioned, not yet provisioned, or even grace period. Let's look at this cloud PC that isn't provisioned yet for onboarding. In this example, I will provision this cloud PC for Carl, a North American servicing technician, so they can run critical apps with sensitive customer data without needing to store anything locally. Let's name this cloud PC Servicing Tech's Cloud PC. Next, we'll select the cloud PC join type. Following great customer feedback since Windows 365 general availability in August, we are excited to now have Azure AD join support for cloud PCs available alongside hybrid Azure AD join. I'll select the Azure AD join option. Then choose a new region. We can choose between a gallery or a custom image. With Windows 11 Enterprise, you can also easily choose to deploy the Microsoft 365 apps with it. Leveraging Azure, these images always have the latest patches delivered, so your users have the most current versions available. In the Configuration tab, I can choose the language and region for the user. This user is a North American service tech, so I'll choose US English. But you can see there are many other languages to choose from as your users need. Add the group to the assignment. This view here shows you a quick summary of all the options selected where you can confirm everything looks good before provisioning. Under the Provisioning Policies tab, the view shows that the policy was successfully added. On the All Cloud PCs tab, you can see more about what's happening with the device. The device that wasn't provisioned is now provisioning for Carl. And in just a short time, the Windows 365 Cloud PC will be created. Now Carl's Cloud PC is provisioned. At the top of the page, you'll notice that there are new actions we can take, like resizing. If a user needs more computing power, an admin is able to easily resize the device. You can also deprovision and reprovision the cloud PC if needed. These are just a few of the many optimizations we are making for Windows 365 Enterprise Cloud PCs. Simplicity and flexibility for deployment and management are great to help you save time, but you also need to provide a great end-user experience so people can help drive your business forward. One way to do that is to give them more flexibility in how they can work from anywhere. With application management for Edge, You can do this by enabling people to access organizational resources from an unmanaged device while controlling the conditions under which you allow that access. Let me show you how you will be able to set this up in the future with Endpoint Manager. Let's start by creating a new application policy for Edge. I enter a name and a description for the policy. I can now choose the application, so let's select Microsoft Edge. The data protection section allows me to configure how data flows in and out of the organization. This controls the protection boundary between organizational data, the Edge profile, and other profiles and apps. I want to set up a control for cut, copy, paste, so I'm going to restrict that. I am also going to configure the allowed threat level for Windows Defender. I can choose that if Windows Defender detects an issue on a personal device, the policy can take an automated action to inform the user to control access until the threat is removed. I will also configure the minimum OS version. I am not going to set up any scope tags. And I'll create an assignment for my engineering group. I am now ready to deploy my new policy to configure Microsoft Edge. Now that we've got everything set, let's have a look at the end user experience. This is my personal PC, where I'm already using Microsoft Edge with my Microsoft account signed in. From my personal profile, I can attempt to sign into Outlook Web Access. When I attempt to access my organizational email from my personal Edge profile, the policy we just set up steps in to stop the access and advises me that I need to sign into Edge with my organization's account. So let's create a profile in Edge for my work account and sign in. Everything is green and I can continue on. Now, once I've signed in, I'm notified that the organizational data I'm accessing is protected and I can now access my inbox. Now let's test out the control we set up. If I try to copy content from my email on my personal device, I'm clearly informed that I cannot copy organizational data on my personal PC. As you can see, Application Management for Edge provides a lightweight management option for personal Windows devices and does not require device enrollment. The result balances security, privacy, productivity, and flexibility. Another way to provide a great user experience and be a hero to employees is to help them get the most out of their technology and other resources you provide them. With the shift to hybrid workplaces, we can see that organizations need to better connect with employees in a way that is tailored to individual situations. In a future release, we'll enable IT to target specific users with organizational messages that can appear on Windows surfaces such as a lock screen, desktop, or above the taskbar. Let me show you an early look at this capability. With Microsoft Endpoint Manager, I will create and deliver a message to new employees informing them of important training. I start in the message section of the Endpoint Manager Admin Center. I have already uploaded my company's logo, which will show up in the message to help people know it came from the organization. Next, I navigate to Message and click Create to create a new message. In this section, I want to choose Training Company to inform new employees about some training resources. I can add a custom URL, which will be provided as a link in the notification. I'll use the Contoso SharePoint site, which contains key new hire training information, so end users can easily navigate to it from within the notification. I will set a start and finish date of the message and configure how many times employees should see the message over the next few weeks. I will select the Contoso Employees, New Employees, Azure AD User Group to send the message to. Finally, I review the message and hit Create. From there, my message will be delivered based on the schedule I set, and I'll be able to track all messages from within Endpoint Manager. Now let's go check out the experience an end user would have sometime later. As a new employee, I just completed the initial setup screens for my new device. There is so much to do, and it's hard to know where to start. But wow, look, this this notification popped up saying Contoso has training for me to look at. I'm going to click it with confidence as it's a message from my organization. It took me to the Contoso training page. There's plenty of training materials here for me to review and quickly get ramped up. As you can see, with capabilities like our new intelligent automated service and Windows Update for Business deployment service, we are helping with smarter, more successful deployments and management. With Windows 365 provisioning in Endpoint Manager, you get flexibility in how you deploy and manage Windows. You can also help drive a great end-user experience with application management for Edge and the ability to send organizational messages to your employees. We have even more value for you. And here is Ramya Chitrakar to tell you more about it.
Thank you so much, Hina. Windows and Endpoint Manager together power the future of work as a cloud-powered OS with built-in controls. Extending the deep Microsoft expertise of Windows across desktop and mobile end-user computing assets, Endpoint Manager brings visibility and control across the entire computing landscape. Our industry-leading unified endpoint management solution simplifies IT workloads, helps remediate security vulnerabilities, and offers data-driven insights for connected experiences based on the Microsoft Cloud. All delivered to enable IT to do more with less effort all in one place. Today, we are announcing that Microsoft will introduce new premium endpoint management capabilities in apps and endpoint management with Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Our plan is to offer a series of new add-on capabilities that will allow organizations to consolidate their mission-critical endpoint management and security tools into a single solution. We will launch a new centralized hub experience in the Endpoint Manager Admin Center to make it extremely easy for administrators to learn about the new solutions. As they become generally available over time, administrators will be able to choose to either start a trial or purchase these premium endpoint management solutions through the familiar experience they use today to manage their Microsoft 365 licenses. We are pleased to announce that the first of our premium offers, Remote Help, will become generally available as a cloud-based, secure remote assistance tool for Windows and offered as an add-on to your Microsoft 365 license for Microsoft Intune. Let me show you how you can enable your IT help desk to establish a trusted remote connection with an employee's Windows PC so they can quickly get back to focus on what matters regardless of where they are. Let's look at a common situation. Adele is a retail manager working from home for Contoso. She needs some help with an application on her Windows 11 device. She calls the help desk, and I'm going to play the role of technical support to help and guide her by remotely connecting to her PC. Both Adele and I are going to launch the new Remote Help app. With the right permissions to help Adele set in Microsoft Endpoint Manager, I can quickly get started to address her questions. I'm going to provide a simple code to her so we can get started. As we start to make the connection, I'm confident that I'm engaging with the right person because we are both strongly authenticated with our organizational credentials. I see that I'm connecting to Adele's Windows computer. I can see that she's a retail manager and that she's part of my company. I click the button to request full control of her screen. Adele can then see information about me, such as profile picture, company, and job title, and the requested permission for remote control. She clicks the option to allow the session to start. As the session connects, Remote Help is checking Adele's device to ensure that it's compliant with Endpoint Manager policies and that it's up to date so it's safe to connect. Now, I can easily help Adele with the application or whatever she needs. Remote Help makes it fast and simple for IT to be the hero, empowering organizations to adapt and thrive in the hybrid world of work in a secure and trusted way. Since Remote Help has been in preview since November, customers around the world have already started to use it to ease daily work. A customer recently shared that the secure nature of remote help is what sets it apart. Preventing unauthorized remote device control is crucial, and the role-based permissions tightly integrated into their cloud management with Endpoint Manager helps do just that. We are so pleased to deliver additional capabilities through Endpoint Manager that will improve employee experiences with Windows and make it simple to integrate protection into company workflows. And we are just getting started. Microsoft is dedicated to helping organizations eliminate as much friction as possible from their daily work with PCs on premises and in the cloud. Building on the notion of providing secure remote help when needed to improve employee experiences, we are deepening our endpoint analytics functionality, empowering IT to proactively manage the experiences that may impact employees during their workday. Imagine getting ahead of issues before workers realize their device is in trouble. Using the power of Microsoft Cloud and AI, we can use trillions of security and endpoint performance signals to provide contextual insights to IT, make recommendations to remediate endpoint performance issues such as app crashes, and automate IT workflows such as device and firmware updates. With our new endpoint experience management capability, we will help you improve your users' happiness and well-being with frustration-free experiences on their Windows PCs and other devices. Our plan is to further enable IT to control the ability for users to self-service when and if the need arises. Imagine being empowered to remove barriers for employees and improve your IT productivity by elevating their permissions to perform actions normally performed by admins. However, one of the main principles of a zero trust architecture is to use least privilege access, and for good reason. People running their computers with local admin rights is one of the main threat vectors on endpoints. We plan to give you the ability to set rules and parameters in Endpoint Manager to configure a standard user's permissions to be automatically elevated, be self-managed, or set to require authorization. All so they can securely perform tasks such as adding approved applications, printers, or other peripheral devices without needing to contact your IT help desk. How cost-effective and secure is that? Let me show you how that can be done. Adele, our same retail manager working from home, needs to run an internal asset management application. Unfortunately, the app requires the rights of an administrator to run, but she only has standard user permissions. Let's look at how I can use Endpoint Manager to solve this problem. From the Endpoint Security node, I can create and deploy a policy or rules for when a standard user can be elevated with permissions to perform administrative tasks on their computer. I can start by selecting Create Policy. Then I can select Elevation Rules from our policy type. This will allow me to define an application or set of applications and link them directly to an elevation type. There's two types of elevation scenarios, managed and unmanaged. Endpoint Manager will facilitate both scenarios. For the demo today, I'm going to focus on managed elevation, which means it's known to my organization and has an existing policy. I click Create, then provide a name and description. Add rules to define the managed elevation behavior. I'll give my rule a name, description, and the type of elevation. In this example, I'll use self-elevation, which is a type of elevation that an end user can complete without needing to involve an additional party. Under validation, I'll select justification and username and password, which which will require the end user to enter a justification that will be logged for analysis later in addition to requiring them to authenticate. Next, I will choose primary user for applicability and specify the path this executable will run from. Lastly, I'll use a metadata file to populate the rest of the necessary information for identifying the application. This information could be extracted from the executable itself, gathered using the new tooling we built, or selected from data gathered from prior elevations in your enterprise, or simply manually entered. Then I'll save the rule and click Next. I choose to use the default scope tags. Select the Retail Managers group as the target for this policy. And finally, click Create. Now that the policy has been deployed to Adele's device, Adele's experience will match what we configured in the policy. We can see the company branding, the justification that's required, as well as the authentication. Adele fills in the necessary items to launch the application. Now Adele can go about her day and complete the necessary tasks. Helping employees transition to remote work and back to hybrid work, enabling easy access to company resources from anywhere, supporting the endless work from home scenarios, IT administrators have earned hero status in my mind. We aim to simplify and reduce the effort for IT to keep their computing landscape current and virtually vulnerability free. You can be assured that your IT security teams will be delighted when we introduce automated vulnerability management and patching capabilities. Endpoint Manager will proactively identify and remediate security vulnerabilities across software and hardware to reduce the threat of breach, possibly saving organizations millions through continuous detection, assessment, and automated app patching based on third-party app catalogs. Coupled with Microsoft's Threat and Vulnerability Management Suite, automated vulnerability management will also come with proven software and firmware security baselines to help you assess and enforce settings that will help you ensure compliance with industry security standards. Please read the article about our plans to introduce these premium management solutions through the link on the screen. We will share more details about the specific capabilities and the add-on license price for each of them when they are closer to becoming generally available. And when ready, Microsoft will offer a comprehensive new suite that brings together the value of all these point solutions into one simplified, cost-effective license plan for customers who subscribe to Microsoft 365. Now let me turn it back to Steve for some closing thoughts.
Imagine the power of the Microsoft Connected Cloud with all of the security signals, employee behavioral insights, and built-in security controls that help organizations around the world thrive. Going forward, we'll continue to use the power of the cloud to bring IT professionals even more capabilities. Built for hybrid work and intrinsically connected to our leading endpoint management solution, Windows 11 can help you lower costs and simplify how work gets done, all while providing a great user experience. For better flexibility, we're also giving you more ways to experience Windows. Windows 365 Cloud PC streams your full Windows 11 experience to any device so that IT can provision new users quickly and seamlessly. And with a unified management solution based on Microsoft Endpoint Manager, you can cut the cost and complexity of securing the Windows landscape for your hybrid workforce. Now, imagine harnessing the power of your own organization with the simplicity, security, and cost-effectiveness you need to empower the future of hybrid work. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to learn more about what we talked about here today, make sure to check out our blog at aka.ms/Windows Management 2022 and come to the Tech Community Live event next week to hear from the product makers and get your questions answered.
Oke, bentar ya. Oke, terima kasih ya kepada Steve yang sama dengan yang lainnya, Hina sama yang satu lagi nggak tahu. Oke, terima kasih ya sudah menjelaskan tentang manajemen TI dan pekerjaan hibrid ya. Dan untuk perhatikan ya, perhatikan ya, ini bermanfaat nanti untuk kalau kalian melakukan teknis dengan komputer ini tersebut. Bagi yang teknik informatika ya, atau bagi yang perlu di teknik informatika dan suka teknik informatika kayak gitu, bukan teknik komputer misalnya kayak gitu, harap perhatikan pada video kedua tadi itu ya. Oke, yang ketiga dan yang terakhir adalah produktivitas pengguna. Apa itu? Beradaptasi dengan perubahan tempat kerja yang konstan di dunia hibrida dengan mendorong kolaborasi dan produktivitas. Nah, itu seperti apa sih sebenarnya produktivitas pengguna itu? Nah, sekarang kita akan tonton bagian terakhir ya. Video bagian ketiga ini. Oke, selamat menyaksikan.
Thank you for joining us today. In the new world of hybrid work, so much has changed in the way we connect and get work done. But one constant in the midst of all of this change is your trust in Windows. The end user experience, your experience, is the driving force behind our own innovation. Because no one signs into their PC to do Windows. We are not the destination. You sign into your PC to get to work, collaborate, be empowered, and achieve more. The tools of tomorrow will look different from the tools we're using today. Jobs, and where and how we work, will continue to change. Windows is evolving to meet these challenges, and we're excited about the road ahead. And now we're stretching ourselves to unlock new value with new features and transformative investments that reach across every endpoint and industry, from devices used by frontline workers to powerful PCs, IoT, and edge computing. Today, it's my privilege to share with you some of the incredible experiences we're working on to help you get the job done. When we built Windows 11, we knew you were adjusting to new hybrid work styles, business models, and challenges. So we created a user experience that helps you stay focused, with a simplified and streamlined interface, easily organized snap layouts, and smarter collaboration features that put you at the center of the Windows experience. And now this matters more than ever, because in a world of hybrid work, it's the role of IT to empower end users and equip them with the right tools they need to meet their potential. We're witnessing an evolution of corporate endpoint strategy, from one size fits most to cloud-empowered and flexible. It's an evolution that puts the user at the center, allowing for a more tailored solution and technology that meets individuals where they're at. And now that hybrid work is here, we know that commercial leaders need simple, secure, flexible solutions running on a range of modern devices so that you and your end users, whether they're frontline workers or members of the marketing team, can focus on their goals, not their tools. So now we're making Windows even more intuitive and intelligent, working with you to sharpen your focus and improve your workflow. Finally, we ground all of these enhanced user experiences in better fundamentals: faster, more seamless updates, longer battery life, and better performance. Because even as the world and the way you work changes, we want you to be able to rely on Windows. Windows 11 is the platform that is ready to empower all your needs today. It is powerful for employees, consistent for IT, and secure for all. So go and deploy and unlock that value for hybrid work now. And then look forward to the features we're about to show you that are taking the experience even further. Now let me introduce you to Liz to take a closer look at some of the new ways you can work with Windows.
Thanks, Paul. I'm super excited to show you what we're working on. We use Windows to get our work done too, and we hear from customers every day about how amazing Windows can be, and also how frustrating it can be when it's not helping in the right way. It's important to feel empowered by your workflows and know that Windows is helping you be productive versus getting in your way. As developers, it can be difficult to find the balance. What is the right level of assistance? What is the user trying to do, and how can we help? It's hard because there are so many different roles, work styles, and things people need to achieve in a workday. But it's worth it if it can save you as IT and your end users time. We understand it might mean the difference between feeling accomplished at the end of the day or growing your to-do list, between easily serving all of your customers or making customers wait, between leaving work on time to pick up the kids or running late and rushing to sports practice. The opportunity to help you do your work better is what drives us. Now let me start by showing you some of the Windows 365 integrations we've been working on. When you're ready to start your day, Windows is waiting for you, wherever and however you need it. Last year, we brought you even more flexibility with Windows 365, giving you the power to stream your full Windows experience from the Microsoft Cloud to any device. And today, we're going to show you why you'll want that endpoint to be on a Windows 11 device. Harnessing the power of the Microsoft stack, we're bringing Windows 365 native integrations directly into Windows 11, helping you get to your cloud PC quicker and easier than ever. Your experience is seamless from the start. Signing into your cloud PC is just as easy as signing into your Windows 11 device. Watch as I use Windows Hello face recognition to log into Windows 365 directly and instantly. You can also just use your password if your device doesn't support Windows Hello. This triggers discovery, connection, and single sign-on to resources on my Windows 365 cloud PC, just as it does for resources on my local desktop. As a user, the Windows 365 experience is indistinguishable from a local desktop. With almost no setup by me, I'm now seamlessly signed into my Windows 365 cloud PC. I can take advantage of the power of the Microsoft Cloud, leveraging as much compute and storage as I need to do my job. If my needs change, my IT admin can always resize the power of my cloud PC, regardless of which device I'm on. My IT admin also doesn't have to worry about what I'm doing locally on my device, because I'm always working in the cloud with Windows 365. You can check out our management breakout session to learn more about IT's simplified experience. This direct single sign-on experience to Windows 365 is going to be incredible for simplifying the end user experience. You can imagine how this feature will be a great value add for both information and frontline workers. Frontline workers need to be productive immediately on their cloud PC. Now they can just sign in once and get straight to work. Now check this out. If you don't want to sign in directly onto your cloud PC, another feature we're working on lets you easily navigate between your local desktop and your cloud PC by using the Windows Task View. It's amazing how seamlessly you can switch from your workflows on your local PC to your workflows on your cloud PC. If I'm working in Windows 11, my cloud PC is just a click away. I just open Task View and Windows 365 is shown running and ready to launch. Clicking on the cloud PC gives me a clear, clean way to navigate between the two different work environments. Now I can complete my work without having to launch an app, sign in, or think about how to access my cloud PC. Once I sign into my Windows 11 device, I'm ready to be productive everywhere, on my local desktop or on my cloud PC. Switching back to the local desktop is the same step and just as fast as switching to the cloud PC. I just open Task View again and click on my local desktop thumbnail that shows my apps still running. The seamless switch helps users focus on being productive and getting work done without the distraction of finding and launching their cloud PC. On top of being able to boot straight into your Windows 365 cloud PC or switch quickly between your local desktop and cloud PC, we've also been working on a new Windows 365 integration that gives you another way to access your cloud PC, similar to how you use Remote Desktop today. You'll be able to access the same rich cloud PC experience you have available in the portal today. Resize, rename, restore, reset, and troubleshoot, all from an app on your desktop. We're excited to share even more about all of these Windows integrations soon. Now that I'm on my desktop, let me show you some other exciting end-user features. A primary focus for the team since launching Windows 11 has been making Windows more intelligent. We're continuing this journey by adding new intelligence-powered contextual suggestions throughout your workflow, so you can get more done with less effort. Let me demonstrate. Files shown in the new cloud-powered Start menu now sync with your AAD-linked Office apps, including OneDrive, so you can get to them from anywhere and on any PC. No setup needed, just log into Windows with your work account. And now you can also pin files. Instead of taking 6 clicks to get to a frequently used folder or an important file, it only takes 1. Sharing files is powered by OneDrive, making it easy to collaborate with others and eliminating the need for email attachments. Contextual suggestions can also suggest who to share a file with, so I can quickly share my files with colleagues. We're also excited to announce tabs in File Explorer, the top requested feature from Windows insiders for business. I can now open multiple tabs in File Explorer, and the new homepage shows me my favorite files. Intelligence-powered contextual suggestions show other files I might want, including files that my frequent collaborators are working on that I also have access to. What's even better, we're working on extending contextual suggestions beyond Windows to other apps and scenarios to help with every workflow, including setting up meetings directly from a Teams chat. Next, I want to show you some of the amazing new touch and pen features. If I'm working on a Windows 2-in-1, I can transition between tasks and postures better than with any other device, so I can be productive in the way that works best for me. If I want to move from my desk to a couch or a chair where I don't want the keyboard, I can disconnect it, and you'll see Windows adapts to be optimized for touch-first interactions. The taskbar grows with a delightful animation to be easier to use with touch. When I launch an app, the taskbar collapses, helping me focus on the app I'm using and staying out of the way so I don't accidentally launch an app while holding the device or resting my palm on the screen to write with my pen. Windows knows I'm using my 2-in-1 as a tablet and adjusts to give me the best experience. When I want to launch another app, I can simply swipe from the bottom edge to expand the taskbar. And do you see this little peak? If I keep swiping, I get the Start menu. I love how the animation sticks to my finger, and it feels extra responsive on my Surface Pro 8 with its beautiful 120Hz refresh rate screen. Inside Start, I can swipe to the All Apps list to launch another app. These interactions are so smooth and feel so natural that I've started using touch even when my keyboard is attached. Adding accelerators like this is just another way Windows is improving to help people be more productive with touch. And we have a new app we've built specifically for inking, Microsoft Journal. It's great for taking meeting notes, and the calendar view is the perfect launch point. If I tap on the recurring meeting, I can pick up where I left off taking notes last week. Journal leverages the best in Windows ink technology with low latency, precise ink, and full support for tactile pens. Today I want to take notes about a video I'm watching, and I think the windows will lay out better if I hold my device in portrait. We've updated the rotation animation to be more responsive as well. I want one app on top and one on the bottom, and I can easily do this with snap layouts. With a drag and a tap, I'm ready to go. The smooth, responsive animation helps the interaction feel seamless and lightning fast. We're excited that touch and pen enhancements will enable you to be productive in new, more flexible ways on your Windows device. We're always focused on who we're building for, making sure our design process is inclusive. To show you what we've been working on, I want to introduce you to my incredible colleague Carolina and some of our fantastic teammates working across Windows for a more inclusive future.
Thanks, Liz. Accessibility is so important to everything we do at Microsoft. There are over 1 billion people in the world with disabilities. Disabilities that may or may not be visible or readily apparent. We know that hybrid work has disproportionately impacted people with disabilities. And there is more that we can do in Windows to empower each of us to achieve more. In Windows, we design and build for each of us, intentionally including people with specific disabilities. We then extend these experiences to benefit many other Windows users. Together, with a wide range of disability communities and our own teammates with disabilities, we're driving inclusively designed experiences that help everyone thrive in the new hybrid world. Earlier, we showed you the amazing new Windows Live Captions feature, where Windows can provide captions from any audio content across Windows 11, from web pages to Teams. But let me show you some other amazing features the team has been working on. The way we work has changed over the last few years. We've gained efficiencies, but also have a lot of information competing for our attention. New hybrid work styles, online meetings, and remote collaboration offer the potential for constant distractions and mental fatigue. To help you navigate this new and sometimes chaotic hybrid world, we've created an experience called Focus. This feature started from a simple problem. Namely, how can someone with ADHD get into and remain in a state of flow and feel empowered to control their workday? We built Focus based on conversations with information workers and using research-backed techniques proven to build healthy digital habits for people with ADHD. And we're excited for everyone to benefit from this new experience. Because we know that employees who have more focused time have better work-life balance, which is essential to well-being. The first quick and simple way we can help you focus and get more done is with the new Do Not Disturb option. You can toggle Do Not Disturb on from the Notification Center to hide notification banners, including notifications from Outlook and Teams. We'll keep track of all of the notifications so that you can review them when you are ready. Priority notifications will break through, so you don't have to worry about missing important messages. We understand that it's not always easy to decide when you need to focus and switch to focus mode. Back-to-back meetings and constant distractions challenge our brain function in a variety of ways. To help break this cycle, you can start a focus session right from the Windows Notification Center. When you do this, Windows will calm itself down. We'll turn on Do Not Disturb. We'll turn off taskbar badges, and we will show you a focus timer to help keep you on track. Thanks to the integration with Spotify, we'll even automatically play your preferred audio, all from one click. We'll also help you take breaks, which our research demonstrates helps resiliency and endurance during focus time. And when you're done focusing, it's just as easy to end your focus session. And of course, you can personalize focus to meet your specific needs. We're excited to deliver a research-backed system that brings the best of Microsoft and Windows to help everyone focus and do more. As we continue our journey of creating inclusively designed experiences that empower people with and without disabilities, we want to tell you how you can control Windows with your voice using Voice Access. And to show us Voice Access, I went to visit my amazing colleague, John, from the Windows design team at his home. Hi, John. Thank you so much for having me here. I would love it if today you would tell us and show us a little bit about Voice Access.
Absolutely. Voice Access enables everyone, including people with limited mobility, to control Windows with their voice. We designed Voice Access with people with limited mobility and also their support network. For example, we included parents of children with mobility disabilities and occupational therapists who often serve as trainers for assistive technology. Our co-creation process is one of the things I am most proud of because it's such a clear demonstration of the way Windows and Microsoft are committed to building inclusive products. Let me show you how simple it is to use Voice Access. As a designer, I often use LinkedIn Learning to learn how others approach solving complex design problems. Voice Access Wake Up, Open Edge, Maximize Window.
As you just observed, John was able to maximize the edge window using the command maximize to resize the window. This is because Voice Access provides simple and intuitive commands for working with applications.
Designing for voice. Press down arrow. Press enter.
You can seamlessly switch between entering text and issuing voice commands, as in here when John entered his search query and gave the command to press the enter key.
Click Designing for Voice. 2. Click Play.
Voice Access can disambiguate items on the screen using these numbers when there are multiple options that match. This way, you're always in control of what you want to act on.
Voice Access Sleep. Voice Access uses state-of-the-art AI on the device, so Voice Access is always available, responsive, and I can trust it to respect my privacy.
Wow, I can see how voice access is a great example of our inclusive design approach. It exemplifies our principle to design for one, with and for people with disabilities, and extend to many other users. Thank you for taking us through that experience, John. In the disability community, there is a motto: nothing about us without us. And this is a simple yet powerful reminder for our team to continue to create a more inclusive future together. We're excited to see what people of all abilities accomplish with Windows 11. And as always, feedback from disability communities keep us excited and focused for what's next in our journey.
Thanks, Carolina. As I'm sure we're all aware, meetings can consume a great deal of time in hybrid and remote work environments. With Windows 11, we're aiming to improve the meeting experience with the power of intelligence. We don't just want to have more inclusive and engaging meetings, we want meetings to fit more seamlessly into our workflow. I'm excited to share how we're improving meetings on Windows 11 with the power of intelligence on capable devices. To start with, I'll connect with Jess on Teams.
Hi, Paul. Sorry, there's some noise happening nearby. Give me a second to turn on Windows 11's new intelligent meeting features.
Hey, Jess. For a second, I thought I caught you at a bad time. I see you're already using voice focus to filter out the background noise.
Yes, the new meeting effects in Windows 11 are amazing. When I turn down voice focus, Windows eliminates any background noise. And what's even better is we're building other features as well. With automatic framing, if I stand up and walk around, it's like a director is following me with a camera, which is great for me because I can't spend all day sitting at a desk. If I sit back down, I can turn on the portrait background blur and eye contact. Let me check my notes. You can see an improved background blur effect where it looks like my background is just out of focus, and my eyes are always looking at the camera, even if I'm actually looking elsewhere on my screen, like reading my notes.
That's amazing. It's so cool that we've got all this built directly into Windows.
Yes, this is all from our work we're doing in Windows Intelligence, and is just one of our next steps to improve how Windows 11 powers my workflow.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jess. We're excited to make meetings best on devices with an NPU, so that people show up well and everyone can be engaged and productive. State-of-the-art voice focus, eye contact, portrait background blur, and automatic framing are just the start of new effects we're building to improve video calls. What makes all this possible is the work our silicon partners are doing with new, incredible chips that have neural processing units, or NPUs, built into the board to unlock some of these amazing intelligence-powered features. These new chips mean we can deliver these remarkable features to your device through Windows without taking away from the processing power you're using to get stuff done. These experiences will be coming first to devices with a Qualcomm chipset with an NPU built right into the chip, like the incredible new Lenovo ThinkPad X13S, powered by the new Qualcomm 8CX. And because these intelligence features run locally on the device, it means they are available across Windows 11 apps with minimal performance or battery life demands, and you can trust that they will respect your privacy. You've just seen some incredible innovation coming from Surface and our partners. You know, in our roles as product makers of Windows, it's our mission to build experiences that transcend the lens of our own individual needs and craft solutions that empower everyone. But occasionally, we have the opportunity to build things that resonate deeply on a personal level. As someone with an ADHD diagnosis, I struggle with task completion. I'll start one thing, but if I brush up against another task in the process, like an IM notification or a reminder of an upcoming meeting, my tendency is to chase that new thread, and it disrupts my flow. With focus and do not disturb, I am able to calm my work environment in a way that really does help me to achieve more every day. Similarly, we've heard so much feedback and also lived the experiences of the stresses of so many video and voice calls throughout the day while working remotely. Voice clarity and NPU-powered meetings experiences that light up naturally and intuitively have helped reduce that stress, which means I have more energy not just for life at work, but also life after work. Windows can't deliver these signature experiences alone. We need and have the best device ecosystem in the world. You saw a small sample of that in some of our featured devices today. Like Surface, offering a stunning lineup of commercial devices and accessories, including the new for business Surface Pro 8 and Surface Laptop Studio. They're even better when paired with the new Surface Pen 2 with haptic feedback. Surface continues to fuse hardware, software, and cloud services to deliver experiences that push the boundaries of innovation, as well as the incredible devices our hardware partners release year after year. The Lenovo X13 and the machines from HP and Dell are stunning examples of how our ecosystem is innovating in novel ways. I remember not even 5 or 10 years ago, many commercial devices were clunky, heavy clamshells. You lugged them around because they were what we had. But we've come a long way, with even Samsung joining us now with incredible, new, secured core PC devices. And when innovation leaders like Samsung lean in, you know that the commercial device game has changed. This is why we're investing so strongly in Windows fundamentals, in performance, battery life, and our security baselines on all of our devices. Because we have a responsibility to our partners and users to make Windows run beautifully on these devices, across all price points and the largest range of form factors available. Windows 11 is a re-energization of Windows, and we certainly aren't stopping here. And it's not just these individual features, it's about how it comes to life for you, for IT, for your end users, for how it really changes your day-to-day. The shift to hybrid work has been a huge catalyst for change. And what we see is that the businesses that are embracing digital transformation, listening to the needs of their employees, responding with technology that empowers, enables, and includes, these are the businesses we see thriving. And to support that transformation, Windows needs to evolve too, and that's what we're doing. We are so excited to be on this journey with you. Truly, every day when I talk to the teams that bring these things to life, they are driven and inspired by seeing what you build with our solutions. The feedback that's been flowing in about how your world has changed and what you need from Windows to adapt has been invaluable as we look forward to what's next. If you want to learn more about what we've talked about here today, make sure to sign up to the Windows Insiders for Business program, check out our blog, and come to the Tech Community Live event with the product makers next week to get your questions answered. What's next for Windows is cloud-powered, accessible, inclusive, and intelligent. But most of all, it's you. And we can't wait to see what you do with it.
Oke, terima kasih kepada Paul dan lain-lainnya juga ya. Oke, itulah guys pembahasan tentang produktivitas pengguna ya. Itulah pembahasan tentang produktivitas pengguna. Nah, oke, pada video terakhir tadi ada pengumuman ya dari live. Ada pengumuman untuk live streaming Windows Session ya. Nah, itu besok ya, tanggal 7 April 2022 jam 8 pagi sampai jam 11 pagi ET ya, Eastern Time, atau untuk Indonesia tuh jam 7 malam ya, jam 7 malam sampai dengan jam 10 malam ya, waktu Indonesia bagian barat. Oke, itu saja yang kami sampaikan. Oke, itu saja yang saya sampaikan. Terima kasih sudah menonton 3 sesi breakout yang fokus pada tantangan yang hadapi dalam yang berjudul Windows mendukung masa depan pekerjaan hibrida, dan ada fitur-fitur baru di Windows 11 nanti, di versi 22H2 nanti. Oke, itu saja kami sampaikan. Terima kasih, dan jangan lupa like, komen, dan subscribe channel ini. Dan jangan lupa like dan komen di video ini ya guys. Oke, terima kasih.